welcome to Full Frontal. I'm Samantha B. Unfortunately, just like everyone else on this planet, we are forced to turn our attention to this prick tonight, which incidentally was the original name of my show. But TBS said it didn't quite sound porny enough. Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine is now raging through its 15th day, with Russian forces brutalizing the country.
The UN estimates close to 500 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, including dozens of children.
Elsewhere, the brutal onslaught has only intensified, deliberately targeting civilians or firing into them with a total disregard for human life.
Russian shelling targeted a children's and maternity hospital.
It's the first time that I have cries. First time for the 11 days. Sorry, emotions. I'm a woman.
Really, it's okay if you need a moment after 11 days of holding your community together during a war. God had to take a break after only 6 days, and that lazy bum makes his own hours. All of this suffering can be laid at the manicured feet of one deranged man-baby who's been waiting for this moment since the early 90s. Back then, Putin was sad that the Soviet Union broke up. So, like many children of divorce, this lonely little 39-year-old boy refused to accept it. For years, Putin has dreamed of getting the empire back together in one big-ass geopolitical parent trap, and he sees Ukraine as a vital piece. Putin has always refused to accept Ukraine's independence, even though 90% of Ukrainians voted to break away from the crumbling Soviet Union in 1991. There hadn't been a vote that lopsided since Florida voted to add guns to the food pyramid. Yet somehow, he still insists that Ukraine belongs to Russia and that the two are one people, a single whole. But the only single whole in this situation is the supreme dickhole killing innocent people. So now, a nation of 44 million is suffering because Putin can't move on from something that happened way back when Color Me Bad ruled the world. More than 900 Ukrainian communities are without power, water, or heat, and the country is also facing food and medicine shortages. But despite all the hardship, Ukrainians are refusing to give Putin the easy victory he expected. The government has announced that most men aged 18 to 60 are not allowed to leave the country, and Putin's invasion has inspired Ukrainians from all walks of life to fight for their freedom.
Young and old, students and retirees, veterans and non-veterans. These are the volunteers for Ukraine's Citizens Army. Zachary and Kirill, friends and university students, say they're ready to fight. They're just 19. This volunteer told us he's an excellent sharpshooter. He's 73.
This is the man who should be playing all of Mark Wahlberg's roles. He's much more honorable and better looking, too. Many of Ukraine's women are also staying to fight, even though they're not required to.
They are Ukraine's mothers, daughters, teachers, politicians, now on the front lines defending their country under siege.
How did you learn how to make Molotov cocktails?
Google helped, she tells me. Let those Russian shits come here, she says. We are ready to greet them.
Hot damn! The only thing that would have been scarier is if she calmly added, "Nothing's wrong. I'm fine." These Ukrainians are showing remarkable bravery. But just because you're not staying behind to do combat doesn't mean you're not fighting for your life.
Nearly 1 out of every 20 Ukrainians, more than 2 million people, are now refugees.
The latest estimate, 100 Ukrainians are crossing into Poland every minute.
This is the push right up at the door. There's been some people dropping bags. We've seen people holding their babies up in the air as they're trying to cram as many people possible onto this train.
The will and strength of all of these refugees is astounding, especially in such historically horrific circumstances. This is the fastest growing refugee crisis in Europe since World War II, and most of the 2 million refugees are women and children.
We saw mothers and grandmothers and lots of little children, some in their mother's arms, others in strollers or holding hands, many no taller than their family's luggage.
I wanted to stay, I wanted maybe donate blood or do something, that I possibly could do. And I couldn't because I knew he's here and I need to take care of him. I'm responsible.
I just left my home to nowhere. I have no plan. I just wanted to save my child.
Oh my God, these women are so brave. And I mean actually brave, not hashtag brave, like when a hot mom posts a picture of herself in a bikini. Meanwhile, half of the 2 million Ukrainian refugees are children. And even worse, some are all by themselves.
А папу оставили в Киеве. Будет помогать нашим героям, нашим войскам. Наша войска будет помогать. Может, даже будет воевать.
This is what war does to people. The human cost isn't just the number of people who get killed. Families have been torn apart and forced to leave their entire worlds behind, which is just unimaginable. My kids used to melt down if we just went to the grocery store and left behind their favorite stuffed animal. For the record, it was an accident. It was 1 hour, and it was actually a stuffed Dennis Kucinich doll, so who cares? My God, my kids are weak. Look, I wish I could tell you how we can fix this, but there are no easy answers. This humanitarian nightmare is exactly what Putin wants, and he shows no signs of backing down. Fortunately, people all over the world are condemning him. Some countries are using their economic influence to pressure Russia to stop its reprehensible actions, or as Republicans call it, cancel culture. We've cut off Putin's access to bank assets, banned imports of Russian oil, and most damaging to Putin himself, blocked American exports of body wax. But hurting Putin isn't enough. We also have to help the people whose lives he's destroying. There are things the Biden administration could do unilaterally, like increase the number of refugees we can admit from Ukraine and allow people facing urgent humanitarian need to stay here without a visa, which could otherwise take months or years to process. But the most important thing we can all do is care about refugees from Ukraine and everywhere else. Whether you live in America or abroad, support people in need wherever they come from with the same kindness that Polish mothers have shown Ukrainian refugees.
It's images like these that show the true humanity on display. Polish moms are leaving strollers at the train station for Ukrainian mothers who may need them when they arrive in Poland with kids.
That is so wonderful. I just pray those Polish moms also left the instructions, because any parent will tell you that trying to fold an unfamiliar stroller will drive you absolutely goddamn bitch cakes. There are other humanitarian crises happening around the world, and there will be more in the future. We have to help refugees from everywhere, every time. But for now, for Ukraine, you can help by donating to the International Rescue Committee, which is now providing aid to those seeking refuge in Poland, one of the primary destinations for people fleeing Ukraine. Please give what you can. And also, one more time, Putin. We'll be right back.